Hey y'all, I'm Paula Deen. And you know, not all foods look as good as they taste. And I happen to call those foods grub food. And on today's show, my sons Jamie and Bobby are gonna be helping me fix a grub fest. We're gonna be starting with my barbecue meatloaf that's packed full of sweet and tangy flavor. And then we're gonna move on to Wayans' Beefy Macaroni and cheese. Yeah, beef and cheese. Just doesn't get much better than that. And last but not least is my banana split cake. It's so sugary and sweetened. So y'all wanna grab plenty of napkins and maybe even a bib, cause it's time for a grub fest. It's gonna be all about grubbing and grub food. And to me, grub food is just real honest food that just tastes good, that everybody across America likes. And of course, to me, there's no grub food like a meatloaf, a barbecue meatloaf. So I'm gonna start with 1.5 pounds of ground beef and 1/2 cup of tomato sauce. And I'm gonna move this over here because that's gonna go in the sauce that we're gonna top our meatloaf with. I'm gonna add 1 cup of breadcrumbs, and these are fresh breadcrumbs. I'm gonna add 1 diced onion. And Gertie's sticking close to me this morning, y'all. She loves meatloaf. So we're gonna add 1 egg, and then salt and pepper, and just do this to taste. And we're just gonna mix those ingredients together. Michael fusses at me because, you know, he worked hard to buy this ring, and to see me getting food all in it just kills him, but I just feel so much better about them being on my fingers. I'd just rather have them dirty and on my fingers than clean and lost, you know. But for a second, I'm gonna have to take them off so I can really get in here. All right, so I'm just gonna take our meatloaf and put it into our baking dish. Now I wanna make sure he's nice and compact in there so he won't have a bunch of cracks. All right, now we're gonna make our sauce. And our sauce is gonna be a little bit on the sweet side. To our tomato sauce, I'm gonna start by adding the Worcestershire sauce, the brown sugar, the Dijon mustard, the vinegar, now we're just gonna pour this over our meatloaf. Yum. All right, so we're gonna put this in the 350-degree preheated oven, and we're gonna let it bake for an hour. All right, I've got that meatloaf in the oven, and remember, about every 15 minutes, we're gonna go to that oven and spoon that sauce on top of that meatloaf and keep it basted for the entire hour that it's baking. But in the meantime, y'all, I've got another one. You know, around my house, I can't do anything in small amounts. I have to have a lot of whatever I'm cooking, because not only now do I have my 2 sons, I've got another son and another daughter, and I got a niece, and I got a brother, and I got their friends. There's always somebody to feed in our house. Oh, look at this.
What is that
Doesn't it?
smell?
Ooh-wee.
Oh.
Barbecue meatloaf?
I get it, I get it.
It's one of my favorites.
Wait!
I want some of that.
What are you doing?
Bobby, you want 1 or 2 pieces?
I want 2.
Excuse me, Mom.
I've been wondering.
I
Look,
think
I
I'm
want
gonna
to
have.
just bake.
Excuse me, Mom. I think I'm gonna have two.
You got some white bread mayonnaise?
Yes, I do.
Mom, and get us some bread, please.
Just a second, Dad.
Let me borrow the spoon
I was
real quick.
I was gonna try to baste.
Wow.
Mm.
Mm. Oh, forget it. It's too good.
Thanks, Mom. It's my favorite.
Appreciate that.
I don't think you basted it enough, though.
Where y'all going?
Going to watch TV. Thanks, Mom.
Oh, well, at least they left me the biggest part. That barbecue sauce is just perfectly yummy. You know, this piece of meatloaf, 2 pieces of white bread and some mayonnaise, it just don't get no grubbier. And you know, I think y'all gonna have to excuse me. I can't stand it. I've got to go find me some bread. Oh man, I can't wait. This is the absolute perfect way to eat meatloaf. And y'all see, I'm not being stingy with that mayonnaise. What a sandwich. Let's see. Hey, boys.
Oh, that looks good. I think I'll have a sandwich now.
I want one for sure.
I guess you won't. So, guys, I forgot to get the bananas for the banana split cake. So, guess who's doing the next segment?
What are
Y'all.
we cooking, Mom?
Wayne's Beefy Mac. Y'all will be fine. You can do it.
So, I guess it's us.
I guess it is.
All right, then. So next on the Jamie and Bobby's Home Cooking Show, Wayne's Beefy Macaroni. Sounds good.
Does sound good. As we wait for Paula. So stay tuned and we'll be right back to the Bobby and Jamie Show.
Well, welcome back, y'all, and do not adjust your televisions. This is Paula's Home Cooking. You believe we are out of bananas, and Mom's had to go out and pick some up. So we're taking over this segment. We're gonna do Wayne's Beefy Macaroni. This comes from a friend of Mom's up in Maryland. His name's Wayne. So the first thing we're gonna do is start with a skillet, and we're gonna put a couple squirts of some vegetable oil down here. I guess what we should do first is we got a pot of boiling water here.
Yeah.
1 box of elbow macaroni. I'm gonna put my fresh garlic down in this pan.
And now I see, Jamie, this is a variation of one of my favorite things that Mom cooks. She used to make a homemade goulash for me, but I see that some of the ingredients are different. And I know that you're familiar with Wayne's recipe, and I'm really not. So tell me what you want me to do and how to help you.
Well, this is the main ingredient of a lot of our recipes, and this is a sauteed fresh garlic, onion, and bell pepper. And we're gonna cook this until it's soft. If you wanna stir this, Bobby.
All right.
Well, I'm gonna put some salt down in our macaroni first. We forgot to do that.
I mean, I don't want to compare it, but similar to
Real
like
simple.
a lasagna.
Basically, Bobby, all it is a goulash recipe that we're gonna put in a casserole dish.
Okay.
We're gonna cover it with cheese and bake it off. That looks pretty good, Bob.
Okay. So we're done here. Go ahead and pull this off.
No, we're gonna leave your pan there. I'm just gonna take this stuff out, and then I'm gonna get you to brown that hamburger meat.
Okay. All right. Turn that back on. You're just gonna brown this like we were making a lasagna or spaghetti. Pretty standard stuff.
Anytime I'm doing any cooking with beef, I always salt and pepper it. You can't hurt it.
Well, when do we do that? Do we do that while it's in the bowl, or do we drop it in there and begin to brown it and then season it?
While this is warming back up, let's do it this way. Just put a little bit of salt in here, and that way once you get it in the pan, you can just concentrate on cooking it.
All right, back up. I'm your little brother, but I can do this.
Okay.
Move.
Brown that hamburger meat off. Are those noodles boiling?
The noodles are boiling.
There you go. Just brown that off. Might want to turn that down a little bit so you don't get grease splatter on you. Looks like the noodles are done. I'm gonna drain those. You wanna go ahead and get everything seasoned?
Yeah, do you want to do this now, or are we going to combine everything after I've browned
Tell you
and
what,
drained?
it's almost brown. We'll strain that grease off of there
Okay.
before we season it up. It's a hot pot.
Jamie's got more experience than I do. Jamie was working in restaurants well before I was. The first restaurant I ever worked in actually belonged to my mom. So my cooking skills are still a work in progress, so to speak. And I like to get in the kitchen with Jamie anytime I can, because I can always learn from him. How many years has it been now, Jamie, that you've been cooking for Mom?
In a week, it'll be 16 years.
Golly.
Hard to believe. The thing about it is, though, Bobby, is that everybody that cooks, I mean, there's always more to learn. But it's something that you just keep doing, and you always, and people come in and say, gosh, It looks so simple and you make it look so simple, but it's just the knowledge that you're armed with is what makes it look simple. Okay, this is some oregano, We're gonna put some dried oregano in here, and we've got some basil. This is my favorite.
And what else? You got some cumin over here?
Yeah, and cumin's what gives it a distinct flavor. I'd love to put cumin in my chili. Okay, Bobby, let's put those canned crushed tomatoes in.
Okay.
And
3 cups of canned
3
crushed
cups,
tomatoes.
yeah. You shouldn't act like I've cooked a lot longer than you have. You and I were there with Mom when we started.
Well, no, I mean, I've been cooking with Mom and with you and at home for, better than 20 years now. But as far as experience is concerned, I mean cooking in restaurants for selling food.
Yeah.
I've been using people as guinea pigs for over 20 years, but I couldn't have been selling that food. I'm still learning.
So what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna add all of this delicious stuff onto this macaroni and give it a big turn. Let's see, I hope this bowl is big enough. Oh, this smells so good. I just love meat and pasta.
And this is so close to my favorite, the goulash that Mom used to make, and it's so simple. It's just like everything that Mom does.
That's what I was saying. It's all about what you're familiar with,
All right, bring that over here, Jamie. I'll hold your bowl if you want to scrape that off into your casserole dish there.
We lightly greased this so it wouldn't stick too bad. So we're just gonna cover the top with cheese. And at 350, everything's done on the inside, so we just wanna melt this cheese real good. So it's about 2 cups, because this is a pretty full casserole.
I've got your oven, it's on at 350. So if you want to drop that in there.
That looks good. And because Paula's Home Cooking is my favorite show on television, and I know how she does it, we have one already ready. Yes. Practically screams Grubfest.
Good grief.
Isn't that something?
That looks wonderful.
Should we test it?
I think so.
Looks so yummy.
Oh my goodness.
Give.
Coming. That looks great.
Yeah, see how good all that comes together in there?
Yeah, and you see what I mean when I say that this reminds me of like a baked lasagna. Man, is that good. Now don't go away, because when we come back, Mom will be back with the bananas for the banana split cake. Jamie, thank you for the lesson. Wayne, thank you. This is spectacular.
Okay, guys, I'm back with the bananas. How'd it go? How'd y'all do?
It was good.
I thought it was real good.
Yeah, we have fun. That's a simple
So,
recipe.
Paula's Home Cooking is still
No
in
longer.
Good.
We're switching it up.
Welcome back to the Bobby Deen Show.
What? Whatever.
No, it was okay.
The next dish that we're gonna do is just a banana split cake. But I have to tell y'all, this is one of those recipes that I've always had a lot of calls on because of the controversy of the raw egg in the dish. And this dish doesn't get cooked. And I'm just not afraid of raw eggs as long as they're nice and tight in their shell, no cracks, and they hadn't expired. But for those of you out there that might have an issue with that, you can use a pasteurized egg in place of it, and then that way you have no worries at all. Jamie, why don't you start by making the crust, son?
2 of my favorite things, graham cracker crumbs and butter.
Mine too.
It's about 4 cups of graham cracker crumbs.
And then a stick of butter, and we're gonna do a little something different. The recipe doesn't call to stick this crust in the oven, but I like what heat does to this. It makes it kind of harden and form more like a hard crust. So we're just gonna press this into our dish, and we're gonna stick it in the oven for like 5 to 8 minutes and pull it out and let it cool. So while you're doing that, I'm gonna slice the bananas, and Bobby, you wanna go ahead and make the filling, son?
Sure. I'm gonna start with 2 sticks of butter, and I'm gonna go ahead and begin to cream that. I'm gonna add 2 eggs, beat 2 eggs into this as well. And I'm gonna add in a box, one 1-pound box of powdered sugar.
All right, Jamie, son, if you wanna go ahead and get that in the dish, and get it in the oven. We're gonna put that in a 350-degree oven. Like I said, for about 5 to 8 minutes, just for it to harden up. And Bobby, how are you coming over there, son?
Perfectly.
All right, Jamie, I've got another one in the oven. If you would go ahead and get it out, please, because we want to make sure it's cool. We don't want to put this together while it's hot. You know, Bobby, it's funny, you never had any cooking experience like Jamie had. You really had, you were in sales.
Yeah, well, I got my experience. Trial by fire.
I really wanted you to join us, and you did.
Yeah.
You quit your salesman's job,
Yeah.
and you came over and you became the dishwasher.
How's that been working out for you?
It's taking me so far.
Pretty good move.
And then you were promoted
Yeah.
to
All the dessert.
the pastry chef.
And I got really good at it.
Never got bored with it.
But I really got, no, not at all. And I've always, you know, growing up with you, or growing up in your house rather. I always,
growing up along with me?
Yeah, you and I growing up together. No, I always enjoyed cooking, but I didn't really get the joy of once I started cooking for people and getting their reaction from it, that's when I really started to enjoy it.
To me, there's nothing like our job. Granted, it's hard work. You really put yourself on the line out there. You really open yourself up for shots. But if you're good at what you do, there's nothing like that immediate gratification that we get from walking out on the floor and people saying, oh my goodness, you know, I just love your food.
Yeah, seeing the looks on their faces. And
that looks so good and buttery, Jamie.
It does. You know, it's not the easiest thing in the world to spread.
All right, so what we're gonna do now, son, we're just gonna spread those bananas all over. And then we're gonna top our bananas with the canned crushed pineapple that's been very, very well drained. All right, I'm gonna top this now. You can use a frozen whipped topping, but y'all know when I'm making these kind of desserts that I only use one thing, and that's sweetened fresh cream. All right, so that was just that simple. And now we're just gonna top it with a few graham cracker crumbs that I nabbed from Jamie's crust. Doesn't that look yummy? Mm-hmm. And you got dishes.
Yes. Oh, this looks so good. Gonna fix a dish, Mom?
Well, I think I'm just gonna try.
good.
Is it good?
it's really
I
good.
think I'm gonna try just a bite.
I love the pineapple in it.
I do too.
That pineapple really makes it.
To you, my darling, and to the part you played in to all the desserts that we serve at the Lady and Sons.
I think I'm the reason for your success.
Here's to you, Bobby.
Here's to me. That's really good.
Y'all, I think I'm gonna have to take a break. And when we come back, I'm gonna share with you a great grubbing tip. Mini BLTs. You're not gonna believe how simple, easy, and delicious they are. So I'm gonna find a wash rag for the boys, and I'll see you back here in just a second. Has your husband ever brought home unexpected company with him? What are you gonna feed them? You need a quick little appetizer, something that'll fill them up. Well, I've got just the trick for you, because there's a good chance that you have all these items in your refrigerator. All you're gonna need is lettuce, bacon, tomatoes, mayonnaise, and sour cream, and of course some kind of chip. And most all of us keep these things in our house at all times. All you'll wanna do is shred your lettuce, mix your sour cream and your mayonnaise together. Two of my favorite condiments. Love sour cream. We're gonna just mix those two items together. Quickly put those in the center of our container. Just pile our lettuce up around it. Top it with tomatoes. Top it with bacon. stick our chips around it, and everybody can step up to the table and make them a little mini BLT, and you're out of the woods, girl. I think grubbing and grubbing food may have just moved to my #1 favorite category. And what about my little stars here? With your beefy mac.
This was very, very good.
And the banana split cake, over the top.
One of my favorites.
But y'all got to please promise me that you will make this barbecue meatloaf and make you a meatloaf sandwich. But I'm so proud of y'all.
Thanks, Mom.
Well, thanks. We enjoyed doing your show.
Thank you, it was a pleasure. Well, I tell you what, I think it's time for us to go today, but I have had a good time with y'all.
So
Thanks
next time
for helping
on Bobby and Jamie's show.
Jamie and Bobby's home cooking.
Best dishes from our family to yours.